Right. Welcome to AI Tool Time. Welcome to AI Tool Time. Rick McCauley's here, your AI guide on the side, showing tools that'll make your imagination come alive. From perplexities, deep research to ChatGPT's might, creating wonders with text prompts, bringing dreams to life. It's AI Tool Time. AI Tool Time. Rick the AI guide. Your guide to making magic come true. If you can dream it, just say it. 3 wishes from the tech genie, and watch what these tools can do. 30 minutes to master, tools to explore. Let your imagination soar like never before. AI Tool Time with Rick McCauley, where your digital dreams come true.
All right. So now we've got it. If you could pull up my screen for just a second, I think we're ready to go into AI Tool Time with Rick the AI Guy. So tonight's episode is brought to you by Adobe Firefly. One more time, I know. It's like, holy cow, we did that already, right? So what's cool about this is, here we go. So we're going to go on into Adobe Firefly. So to show you how that little animation you just saw was made, you see in the top left-hand corner, the Adobe Firefly logo, and you see where we had perplexity. So I used Nana Banana. This is inside of Firefly. I'm doing this in their boards feature. So we're going to deep dive into the boards tonight. So that animation you're seeing on screen there prior to this was basically putting that there and then saying, put the logo for Adobe Firefly where perplexity was exactly. Then I animated it with a frame with nothing in it. And I said, falling from the sky and dropping down. Rick looks up and he sees it fall down. And that's where you got the little animation that you saw just now. So going further into, so now everything that I created tonight, all those slides and the flaming flambe, that was all done in Adobe Firefly. So we're going to do a couple of things with Adobe Firefly, and this is what we're going to be taking a look at today. In the top left-hand corner, we start with exploding food. So you'll see me go make this robot, take it out, drop out the background. So Adobe Firefly is part of the, Firefly is literally the AI part of Adobe, right? It's the video. It's now the audio. It's the still picture generation. That's all Firefly. And now we've got boards, which just allow us to put really cool things together. So artboard number 2 here, number 5 is it's titled, is it has the ability to take a still picture and then make variations more like this, and it makes all these salads. And then to keep the style, it goes down and makes the color palette and creates something that's stylistically the same. And then if you say keep the subject, it then comes down here and makes all of these. So it has the ability to put all that together. And then you can see that you can use it as a whole storyboard to create an entire advertising campaign and to do some extraordinary things. So here's just a couple of pictures that I generated using just Firefly's capability. Then I'll use Nana Banana, which I'll take pictures together. And I'm going to show you this entire process today. This is going to be our tool time episode for the evening. This is one I thought was kind of cool. And if you take a look up here, it's this picture of a plate of exploding sushi. It's this guy that got knocked out of this picture down here with a samurai sushi show, right? And then it's mashed together with this dragon guy. And then you put it together and you get this. So you got the dragon roll here. You've got the exploding sushi here. And you got the guy with the tuna. Wow. Okay. And then you've got this when you animate it. And I gave it basically a before frame and an after frame, and it's off to the races. So now what's making this Nana Banana happen within Adobe? Because Adobe has opened up, just like they used to do plugins a long time ago, the ability to bring in third parties, APIs, they call it, right? So you bring in Nana Banana, you bring in Runway, you might be bringing in VO and some other ones coming up very, very soon. It has some new features that I didn't talk about last time. These are called presets. That means that if you have a bunch of clothes, you see in the top mashup. So that's using Nana Banana. So you're taking this person wearing the pink outfit, putting the shoes and the glasses on, Boom, there you go. Logo maker. So these are styles where you basically load in a couple of elements and it changes the pose, it changes the things like this. Then you have the vary capability, which will allow to really quickly, and I'm going to demonstrate this for real, but you can see how quickly I took this one picture you see on the left, and I said, keep the subject. And then I said, keep the style. Then I said, keep the more like this. It makes 16 images completely Firefly. And you notice it adds the content credentials. Boy, I wish Facebook would require that so we know if we're seeing AI generated images or not. I mean, this is spectacular if you're in advertising or marketing, but take a look at what you can do for iterating and ideating, which is something that I just couldn't even possibly go through all these possibilities. So these are just some of the different ones. Remove text, isometric 3D, candid, product photography, impasto painting. So these styles become like a real quick way to turn a photograph into a 3D illustration, turn that into video, turn it into a black and white photograph that's all messed up, and turn it into a color photograph that's perfectly retouched, and then animate it. Wow, what a thing we can do. Take a look at all of the models that are right here. VO2, VO3, preview and fast, Pika 2.2, Ray 2, Runway Gen 4 video. So it is a bit of an extra cost, but if you have the Pro Adobe Creative Cloud account, this becomes part of your free gift right built inside. And you can make quite a few. And in fact, it keeps track of your credits. And there's so many credits per month. You can always buy extra credits if you want to top it off and finish a job, for example. That's something that's been coming up recently a lot in questions. And then you can do something like this. So I started with the picture you see at the top left. I extracted the guy by removing the background. I then put in the salad bowl, mixed it up, and then I got the robot, and then I created an actual animation that you'll see right here. So there we go. That's the salad bowl from one picture, that guy from another picture. The guy on the right, the chef, is coming and getting him a spoon. Holy cow, isn't that cool, right? So there you go, one more time, because this is just too much fun. Then I had it darken up the background, and I actually did in painting because there was a bunch of distracting backgrounds to make it a clean frame. So you saw this last week if you watched our last episode, and this is what we were doing then. This is me taking my face and putting it all over the place and doing some really cool stuff. And then this is what I thought was kind of fun. So the top left picture is the original one. I said, make it with a dark gray background, and then change the picture to hang in there, baby. So it was a 1980s style graphic design production studio. In the bottom left is 1940s vintage graphic designer and what they did back in the day. And then I imagine what the future would look like. You can see the prompt right down there at the bottom, but it basically helped me make these iterations by just telling it what I wanted to do. So whatever you can imagine, you can create. Even this is my children's book called Imagine. I've made it so it turned it into the same story for an African-American family with a Labrador retriever. My goal is to actually make this story turn into what will be every ethnicity. In fact, you upload your pictures of your dog, your cat, or your iguana, whatever you got, and it will tell the same story of imagination. That's when we get to a world that I want to be a part of, because I want this not to be about my child, but about everybody's child. And so let me go on over to Firefly, and I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to first back out of the board. So here's the board as we're working in it. Let me back out just for a minute and introduce you to Adobe Express. So if you're doing all kinds of work, if you want to make a QR code, there's all of the social media sizing built in. This is an application. It's literally the Swiss Army knife of different tools that you can do. I come in here all the time to generate QR codes, and then I'll take that and put it on top of something else. So I've made things like this little advertisement, right? That's a combination of a QR code for a Zoom link for something I was doing. And there's a picture that I edited and animated. Then when I was doing it on the Zoom, here was the AI tool time. And there's the information about it. And this is all created in a layered document right here in this point. And then if I want to resize all of these, I can remake them. I can load up my media and it has millions of pieces of photography, audio, photos that you can bring in for yourself. It has video capability, video editing capability, it has audio files that you can record your voice, and you can go through all kinds of things, charts and graphs that are built in, elements like all of these. So these are pre-rendered and content. Here's your brand identity kit. So I have my typefaces choices, which is impact. So there's my brand kit right there. And you can see there's my color palette, my orange, my blue, my gray, my yellow, etc. Body copy, Rockwell, Nova, regular, and then all of my assets that I created in Illustrator and Photoshop all come together in one place. And I can bulk create and I can animate this thing as well. Oh my goodness. I even did this little, here's an absolute killer, and you won't be able to hear it. And I don't want to, I did this in a year and a half ago, but I recreated the Mad Men episode, and I created talking people from the Mad Men show talking about a new product. And I was able to do all of that right here. And if I go back and take a look at all the documents that I have, there's just literally no limits to what I can do. And I've got all the assets I could ever want. So let me go back over to Adobe Express. And if you click in the Adobe Express icon, it'll bring up these capabilities. So I can go to Express, I can go to Photoshop, which is, by the way, available in a browser. So all your Photoshop and all your stuff right here in the web. That's cool. Lightroom the same way. And there are apps on your phone now. Holy cow. So let's take a look at Firefly. So what is Firefly? It's all the generative stuff. It is making images. And you could take a look at what you could do here. So it's text to image, it's generative fill, it's scene to image. So 3D objects. Look at this. Holy cow, text effects, etc., and video. So now we can come in here and actually explore all of this. I can take a look at my files. So this is my generation history. These are all the things that you just saw that I've been generating for the last couple of days. Anytime I want to bring up one of my pieces, I can then take this, bring it in here, and turn this into a video right here. Or I can jump over to Photoshop on the web right here, download this image. Um, I can even go and re-render it again. So everything is at my fingertips. My gallery here is an entry into other people's work. So if you haven't seen this kind of stuff before, so that's in text to image. These are just images. Look how fantastic it is. Now, if that's not the coolest thing on earth, what is the ability in here to take a look at video. So let's take a look at what other people have done in the video field, and then you can take a look at what I've done and what other people, even translating the video. We can also take a look at the gallery of other people's work by the community. So this is people that are making videos and all kinds of stuff here. So here's a video. Let's watch that. And this is generated with inside, and this is for TikTok. And this is Chris Castanova's work, actually. There's Chris right there. So all of this is put together and generated right here in Adobe Firefly and using Adobe Express to actually put it on social media whenever you want. There's a golden alligator. How fabulous is that? Here is, I mean, so if you want to, you can actually copy the prompt right from here and generate your video on your own. I think I've run out of credits because I've gone a little bit crazy with this, but you can see that you can use these different techniques to zoom in and around, zoom out, move right, tilt down, etc. So we have video capabilities, including different styles that we can appropriate here. And my generative credits have gone out. I think I've used them all up, but I could add more credits. So this uses 100 credits to make this particular video. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to take you over to audio. Audio's new. There's a bunch of stuff, including the ability to take what is a video that you've made and generate audio to go with it. Not sure you're going to be able to hear this, but here it goes.
I'm sure that sounds great on your end, Rick, but unfortunately, we're not hearing it.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what was going on there is you literally record yourself going moo, and it turns it into a real moo. So it's crazy. And not only audio that way and translations, so you can have it rewrite everything, knock out on video, knock out the background so you can layer up layers of video and then generate the audio and then vector. This is literally a vector. So if you've used Illustrator before, you want a picture of a whale, just say I want a picture of a whale and it's vectorized. Then you can recolor it, restyle it, do all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to go on down a little bit further to look at the boards. And I think this is probably the coolest thing I have seen. I'm really excited about it. You saw what we did last week with the all the stuff there. I'm going to bring up right now. This is the board that I'm working on tonight. And I'm going to bring you into take a look at how I created what you saw earlier. Now, a couple of keyboard shortcuts for you. Command and Option on the Macintosh, and that would be Control and Option on the PC. And then you can click on the screen and press and hold the space bar to move around the objects in space. Now, each one of these are artboards. You create an artboard. In fact, let me move on up here into some empty space. So I'll make an artboard from scratch here for you. Let me zoom out. If you want to zoom out, Command Option, and then move your mouse cursor forward, and it will zoom out. So what I'm going to do is artboards are really a good idea because they keep all your art together. And you create an artboard by just simply coming here. I'm going to go over here and create a new artboard. And it's just a space. You get to color it. Here's the color. I always pick a dark gray. That's kind of nice. And you can name the artboard. I'm going to call this sushi. Okay. And then all this moves at the same time. So if I were to bring this piece over here, and I'll put this on the sushi board, and I'm going to put this one over here. And I wanted to say, let's start with something really cool. So I'm going to move this over here and kind of make it a little bit bigger. Command Option, zooming in, and then the space bar to move it over so I can see it full screen. Everybody can see that really well. I'm going to click in the dark area, and I'm just going to expand this to the side here. So let's take a look. If we were to take this little guy here, and we were to hit Vary, I can say more like this. Yeah, let's do more like this. Let's do more like this. What did it just do? Oh my goodness, look at this. So I'm going to come make some space over here, and I'm going to click and let go and watch this. It is now generating more like this, which means that it's going to make dragons for us. 16, by the way. Oh my goodness. Right? How cool is that? So individually, I can take these and make this really large and see what great detail it is. Each one of these I can then keep and I can file away. I can actually, let me get this in the way you can see it. I can download it right to my hard drive or export it as a PDF, PNG. PNG is the best because it's not compressed. There's no loss of quality in the process. So I'm going to download as a PNG. I'm going to export it so I can use it later. I can come up here and I can say edit and let's generatively expand, or let's just knock out the background by coming over here and choosing one of these other things like going over to Photoshop, copy it, cut, paste, duplicate, cut, all that stuff, right? And then I can convert it to an image to video. So I can have this turn into a video. And then I can come here and I can edit text right there. I can edit using Flux, Max, Gemini, Nano, Banana. I can edit with GPT image base. I can take this and knock out the background. Let's see how we do that. And I forget how to do that right now. But so this capability is just insane because it makes it possible for us to sit there and iterate and then end up with a collection of images that match what we want to do. Or if we want a variation off of this, we can quickly get it. So that's really amazing. If I want to take an image like this one, And again, I'm just going to select all of these and kind of move them out of the way. Collectively, if I have them all on this one plate, then they're going to be movable by just me going like this. Then I can move it around. So let me go zoom in here one more time. And let me take something a little bit different. So let me go down here. I've got some of this already pre-made for you to enjoy here. So within this, I took this one picture here, and you can see that this one picture, if I go and I vary it like I did before, and I'm going to do more like this or keep the style, it generates, as we see here, 16 more pictures. Over here, excuse me, just a second. So there's a couple of space bar gets you there. So let me zoom into this section of it. So you can see what I started to do here was I started with this picture and I wanted this chef. So I just basically went in here and had it edit and knock out the background for me. I'm not sure why I'm not getting that knock out the background thing, but I could open it up in Photoshop if I wanted to on the web. And so it will then go right to Photoshop on the web and give me, yep, this is real Photoshop, and it has all the capabilities, a lot of the keyboard shortcuts, and there's my document. What can I do? I could do a generative fill. If I want to take the words out of this, here's my layers, here's my different styles, color, burn, etc. So I can go in here and add text to this document, paint, type. So I could put in different type if I wanted to. And I've got all the typeface choices that I have otherwise. So, wow, what a difference, right? Then I can knock out the background. So what I ended up doing is I knocked out that background. Then I took the picture of the food here. So here's the plate full of, or the salad bowl. I knocked that out. So you can see I took the chef out of this picture, took the other piece from here, and I went down until, oops, I don't want to go there. Let me see if I can get my remix capability. So I can remix based on that. So I'm remixing based upon these two images, and I'm going to get a bunch of things put together here in a few instances. And I can even arrange these so they are put together as a whole. I can download the entire download of this entire group or individually. Now, if you want the high res, you need to separate them and then pick which ones you want and go high res. So I basically took this picture and that picture, and then look what I got. So let me go zoom in so you can really get that it varied just like it said it was going to do, and it now produced all of these different images. So I picked one that I really like. Maybe I like this one. And while I have them as a cluster, it's a good idea to do whatever you're going to do with them as a group first. So I can actually, they're crossing over two artboards. That's why they're kind of messed up here. But when I select them together, I can adjust the spaces vertically and horizontally. And then I can go through each one and I can say, oop, that one, nope, that one, nope. I'm holding down the command key each time. These are fails, just delete. They're out of my system. This one I really like, make that big. Maybe add it to a new artboard over here. Maybe I like this one. Oh, I want a little bit of diversity here. Let me get this one over here, and I can go to town. So this capability to vary and to use more like this and keep the style is just a dream machine for anybody who's in the art world and design world and iteration world. No matter what you are doing, it's just a dream come true. So for iteration, this group of pictures here, oops.
And I think that's a really good spot to land the plane, just because we're coming up
Yeah.
on time, and
Yeah.
we got to save something for the next show.
Yeah, one more thing that's kind of cool is you can also come down here and you can change. I see that yeah, the interface is in the way a little bit here. There's a section called, I want to do the style real quickly and then I'll let it go. So down here we can generate an
You're like
image.
Steve Jobs. You always have to have just one more thing.
Just
I
one
love
more,
it.
right? Yeah, I studied him for a long time. You have presets. Now this is where I can take these and put these two elements that I just selected and mash them up. So that's a great way to kind of go about that. And what it does is it's generated all these images right here. And then I can make it mash up one image, one. I can pick this image and I can take this image over here, mash it with that one. And then I can have it generate. and it's using Nana Banana. It's going to put these two images together and actually generate a brand new image. And it looks like it's doing it right here. You could also pick the size and the scale and everything else. I mean, it's just incredible. So yeah, let me get out of here and stop sharing. You'll see these generations. I'll make sure I share them next week. But this is just such a spectacular machine. And then to animate them. So there we go. And I just place this on the canvas. And I'm actually going to take this and make it be our last. Let me zoom out of here real quickly, just to get this so we can see it. It's behind everything else, I guess, here. So let me take this and move it to the side. Oh, somehow it's behind everything altogether. Anyway, but it becomes an image like this one where it's a concoction of all the different ones. And then you have the capability down here to do that.
Wow.
All right.
Very cool.